Ah, balut, the food that separates the brave from the faint of heart, the adventurous from the squeamish, and the locals from the uninitiated tourists. Picture this. You're handed a warm egg. Seems harmless, right? But crack it open and suddenly you're face-to-beak with a partially developed duck embryo. Delicious, nutritious, and visually challenging, balut has been a staple of Filipino street food culture for centuries. But where did it come from? Why do people eat it? And why has it sparked debates from foodies to fear factor contestants? Let's unravel the egg-cellent history of balut. Section 1. The origin story. Balut cracks the shell. To truly understand balut, we need to wind the clock back. Way back to ancient Southeast Asia, where duck eggs were a culinary treasure. Balut's origins are often linked to China, where maodan or feathered eggs were enjoyed as far back as the Ming Dynasty. That's right, the idea of eating embryonic eggs isn't exclusive to the Philippines. So, how did balut make its grand entrance into Filipino cuisine? Most historians believe it was introduced during the early days of Chinese trade in the Philippines, around the 16th century. The locals took this peculiar snack and made it their own, adapting the incubation process and flavour profiles to suit their tastes. Over time, balut became more than just a dish. It became a cultural icon, albeit a controversial one. Section 2. The Art of Balut Making. A delicate balancing act. Making balut isn't as simple as tossing some eggs in an incubator and hoping for the best. No, this is a delicate craft that requires a mix of precision, timing, and a whole lot of patience. Here's how it works. Fertilized duck eggs are incubated for about 14 to 18 days. This is the sweet spot. Long enough for the embryo to develop, but not so long that it hatches. Once the eggs are ready, they're boiled to perfection and kept warm for eager customers. But here's the catch. Timing is everything. Too early, and you've got a regular boiled egg. Too late, and, well, let's just say no one wants a surprise quack in their snack. The ideal balut strikes a balance between tender embryo and creamy yolk, with just a hint of broth to tie it all together. Section 3. A snack with benefits. Balut's surprising nutritional power. Before you write off balut as just an extreme food challenge, consider this. It's actually a nutritional powerhouse. Packed with protein, calcium, and iron, it's the perfect pick-me-up for hardworking Filipinos, especially those in rural areas. It's also rumoured to have some, let's say, romantic properties. Yes, balut has long been considered an aphrodisiac, with street vendors touting its ability to boost stamina and virility. Whether that's science or just good marketing, we'll leave up to you. But hey, if it works, it works. Section 4. Science of balut. What's happening inside the egg? Let's crack open the science behind balut, because what's going on inside that shell is nothing short of a biological marvel. It all starts with heat. Fertilized eggs are incubated at around 37 degrees Celsius or 99 degrees Fahrenheit, mimicking the body warmth of a nesting duck. Over the next 14 to 18 days, the embryo begins its journey of development. By day 2 or 3, the first signs of life appear. A faint network of blood vessels that soon transform into a beating heart. By day 7, the embryo is taking shape, with tiny wings and legs emerging. By day 14, the embryo is almost fully formed, though still tender and soft enough to be consumed comfortably. This specific timing is key. At the 14 to 18 day mark, the developing duck hasn't fully calcified its bones, leaving the texture delicate and edible. The yolk, meanwhile, undergoes its own transformation, becoming rich, creamy, and slightly nutty in flavour, a stark contrast to the typical chalky yolk of a hard-boiled egg. And let's not forget the amniotic fluid, often called the broth. This warm, flavourful liquid is a prized part of the balut experience, delivering a savoury burst of umami that ties the dish together. But why does balut taste so different from a regular egg? The secret lies in the proteins. As the embryo develops, the proteins in the egg white and yolk begin to break down, releasing amino acids that contribute to the unique flavor profile. These amino acids, combined with the embryo's developing tissues, create a complex mix of textures and tastes: the softness of the yolk, the slight chewiness of the embryo, and the savory broth that surrounds them. Texture is another hallmark of Balut's appeal, or challenge, depending on your perspective. The semi-developed feathers and cartilage add an element of crunch, while the yolk remains creamy and smooth. It's a symphony of contrasts that's as intriguing as it is polarizing. And let's not forget the nutrients. The process of embryonic development doesn't just alter flavor and texture, it supercharges the egg's nutritional content. The developing embryo is packed with proteins, calcium from its growing bones, and a host of micronutrients that make balut a powerhouse snack. The yolk, rich in fats and vitamins, adds an extra layer of sustenance. Section 5. Balut meets the modern world. Love it or hate it. Today, balut remains as divisive as ever. For many Filipinos, it's comfort food, a nostalgic reminder of late-night snacks and bustling street markets. For others, particularly tourists, it's a dare-worthy delicacy that tests their culinary courage. Balut has also found itself at the center of global food debates. Animal rights activists have raised concerns about the ethics of consuming developing embryos, while others argue that it's no different from eating any other animal product. But beyond the controversy, there's a sense of pride attached to balut. It's a symbol of Filipino resilience and ingenuity, a food that turns the ordinary into the extraordinary. Section 6. Famous balut moments when eggs make headlines. Balut has had its fair share of time in the spotlight, from reality TV challenges to viral YouTube videos. Who could forget the iconic moment on Fear Factor when contestants had to down a balut to stay in the game? The reactions ranged from gagging to triumphant, with one thing in common: unforgettable TV. Even Anthony Bourdain, the culinary bad boy himself, took a crack at balut during his travels in the Philippines. His verdict? Surprisingly tasty, though he admitted it's not for the faint of heart. And then there are the viral videos of first-timers trying balut, some embracing it with gusto, others barely making it past the first bite. It's a testament to balut's unique ability to intrigue, challenge, and occasionally horrify. Section 7. The cultural significance. More than just food. Balut isn't just a snack, it's a cultural experience. In the Philippines, it's often enjoyed during celebrations, late-night gatherings, or even just a quick roadside stop. The act of eating balut, cracking the shell, slurping the broth, and savouring the yolk, creates a sense of connection, both to the food and to the people you share it with. It's also a reminder of the Philippines' rich history and diverse culinary influences. From Chinese traders to modern street vendors, balut tells a story of adaptation and resilience. Section 8. The future of balut, evolving with the times. As the world becomes more interconnected, balut is finding new ways to reinvent itself. High-end restaurants have started incorporating it into gourmet dishes, pairing it with fine wines and delicate sauces. There's even a growing movement to destigmatize balut, highlighting its cultural significance and nutritional value. At the same time, younger generations in the Philippines are grappling with whether balut still has a place in their lives. While some embrace it as a link to their heritage, others see it as outdated or unappetizing. The future of balut may be uncertain, but one thing's for sure: it'll never be boring. Section 9. Balut around the world. Global reactions and adaptations. Balut may be born in the Philippines, but its reputation has traveled far and wide, leaving a trail of curious diners, bold chefs, and even the occasional food challenge victim. As you might expect, reactions to this enigmatic egg have ranged from reverent appreciation to outright shock. Let's take a tour of balut's global escapades. First stop, Vietnam. Here, A similar delicacy known as hot vit lon has a starring role in the street food scene. While the concept is nearly identical, fertilized duck eggs boiled and served warm, the Vietnamese version is often accompanied by a medley of fresh herbs, salt and chili. The addition of these vibrant flavors creates a sensory explosion that makes hot vit lon a beloved snack for locals and adventurous travelers alike. Fun fact: in Vietnam, it's not uncommon to enjoy this delicacy with a refreshing glass of beer. Cheers to pairing courage with cold brews. Now, let's cross continents. In the United States, balut has carved out a niche as the ultimate dare food. From county fairs to quirky food festivals, it's the dish that separates the brave from the no thanks, I'll stick with funnel cake crowd. Food trucks and pop-up events celebrating Filipino cuisine have also given balut a platform to shine, or to shock, depending on who's cracking the shell. In cities like Los Angeles and New York, where Filipino food movements are gaining traction, balut has become a gateway for foodies to explore the complex flavors of the Philippines. But balut isn't just confined to the adventurous palates of festival goers. High-end chefs around the world are beginning to experiment with this polarizing ingredient, incorporating it into gourmet dishes. In one London restaurant, a chef dared to create a balut-inspired canapé, pairing the egg with truffle oil and caviar. The result? A dish that's equal parts luxurious and provocative, a conversation starter on every level. Interestingly, balut has even found a home in unexpected places like Russia and parts of the Middle East, thanks to Filipino migrant workers who have brought their beloved snack along with them. In these communities, balut has become more than just a food. It's a taste of home, a nostalgic reminder of street vendors and warm tropical nights. In its journey across borders, balut has proven to be more than just an egg. It's a cultural ambassador. Would you try balut? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more deep dives into the world's most fascinating and bizarre foods. Until next time, happy eating, or in this case, happy cracking.